My name is Chris Holcomb, and I'm a meteorologist at 11 Alive here in Atlanta. And welcome to the 11 Alive Storm Tracker Center. Now, I understand that you guys have been studying a little bit about weather and learning about weather and electricity and how everything comes together. Well, I am a meteorologist, and it's my job every day to actually predict the future. I have to go on TV every day and tell people what I think is going to happen with the weather tomorrow, the next day, and for the next 7 days with our 7-day forecast. It's a really fun job. I love it. But a lot of people ask me, how do you know what the weather's going to be if it hasn't happened yet? It's my job to predict the future every day. So some people say, oh, I know how you do it. I bet there's a crystal ball in the weather office, and you go up to that crystal ball and say, okay, crystal ball, tell me what the weather's going to do today. And if that crystal ball has raindrops in it or a lightning bolt in it, that means it's going to storm. Is that how we do it? No. There's no magic involved, there's no crystal ball involved, but there is a lot of science involved and math involved in our head. Things that we have to do and have to study in order to determine what is going to happen with the weather. We have a lot of tools that we use, and you can see behind me here some of the maps that we use. This is our wind chill, which shows us how cold it feels outside. We also have radar that we use as well. We use our cameras from all over North Georgia to keep an eye on what is happening with our tower cams. We also have radar that shows us not only where it's raining, but how hard it's raining, and we use those tools to study along with our computer models to help us determine what types of weather patterns are occurring in our area. You might be studying that right now, whether it's a cold air mass or a warm air mass or dry air over us or wet air, which is where we have often rain or fog or even storms that can occur. So it's up to me to study and use all of these tools and the computer models in order to determine what I think is going to happen with the weather, not only the next couple of days, but also the next 7 days, and sometimes beyond that, where we try to do some long-term forecasting as well. So I hope that you guys have fun studying the weather and some of the instruments we use, like thermometers, barometers, anemometers. Those are all kind of fun words to say, but hopefully you can be studying those and also know what the meaning of some of those words are. A thermometer, you want to know how it's easy to remember what that is? If your parents ever take your temperature, I know sometimes they swipe your forehead with a little instrument that shows whether or not you have a fever or not. Or sometimes they might put a thermometer under your tongue. Well, that tells the temperature of your body, and it lets you know whether or not you have a fever. Well, in the weather business, we use thermometers to tell us what the temperature is outside, how hot it is or how cold it is outside. A barometer tells us the pressure in the atmosphere. If we have high pressure over us right now, that means it's kind of quiet and no rain around. Low pressure can mean storms or even rain moving into our area. An anemometer is another long word that we use to study the winds. You can see these arrows here on that map behind me indicating the winds that we have in our area, and the anemometer helps us to determine how fast those winds are blowing and also what direction they're blowing as well. So that's just a few of the tools that we use here in the Storm Tracker Center. Best of luck to you all. I hope that you have a great time studying the weather, and maybe you'll learn a little bit, and maybe you might take my job one day if you can forecast the weather. Y'all have a great day, and thanks for listening.